Imagine a family doomed from the very beginning. Kings, queens, heroes, and traitors, all trapped in a spiral of death, betrayal, and madness. A lineage so steeped in disgrace that it gave birth to the most famous Greek tragedies. Today, we dive into the blood-soaked history of the House of Atreus, the cursed dynasty, that inspired epics, plays, and even philosophical debates. But we're not just talking about myths. We're talking about revenge, power, madness, and the inevitable fate that haunts entire generations. Get ready to meet Tantalus, the man who dared deceive the gods. To understand why, Agamemnon sacrificed his own daughter, and to discover how Orestes' thirst for vengeance shook the foundations of divine and human justice. If you thought Game of Thrones was brutal, just wait until you meet the Atrides. Tantalus was the son of Zeus and king of Lydia. Privileged, he was one of the few mortals who had access to Olympus, but arrogance consumed him. In an attempt to prove the gods were not omniscient, Tantalus served his own son, Pelops, as a meal at a divine banquet. The gods realized the truth. Outraged, they condemned him with one of the most symbolic punishments. Tantalus was sent to Tartarus, where he would remain eternally thirsty and hungry, surrounded by water and fruit just out of reach. What he didn't know was that his punishment wouldn't end there. From that moment on, his lineage was marked. The gods restored Pelops to life. He became a handsome and ambitious young man who set his sights on marrying Hippodamia, daughter of King Oenomaus. But the king had a cruel challenge: a chariot race. If the suitor lost, he would be killed. With help from the charioteer Myrtilus, who sabotaged Oenomaus' chariot, Pelops won. But he later betrayed Myrtilus, throwing him off a cliff. Before dying, the charioteer cursed him. Once again, the lineage is touched by betrayal, and the curse deepens. Pelops' sons, Atreus and Thyestes, and their war would be even more brutal. Atreus and Thyestes fought for the throne of Mycenae. At one point, Atreus proposed a reconciliation banquet. But there was a dark secret. The dishes served were made from the flesh of Thyestes' sons. Upon discovering the truth, Thyestes cursed Atreus and his entire bloodline. This marks the climax of the curse: betrayal between brothers, cannibalism, revenge. The next generation would be led by Agamemnon, son of Atreus, and he would carry the curse to the gates of Troy. Agamemnon, now king, leads the Greeks to the Trojan War, but before departure he makes a fatal mistake. He kills a sacred deer of Artemis. As punishment, the winds stop. The fleet cannot sail. The only way to appease the goddess: sacrifice his daughter, Iphigenia. He agrees. That decision would seal his fate. Even after victory in Troy, Agamemnon returns home marked by blood. During his absence, Clytemnestra, Agamemnon's wife, allies herself with Aegisthus, descendant of Thyestes. She never forgave the sacrifice of Iphigenia. As soon as Agamemnon returns, she kills him in the bath. The cycle of vengeance of the curse fulfills itself once more. But the story doesn't end there. Her son Orestes will have to choose between loyalty to family and the pursuit of justice. Orestes kills his own mother to avenge his father, but he is pursued by the Erinyes, goddesses of vengeance. He flees, goes mad, and finds redemption only when judged by a court in Athens under the supervision of the goddess Athena. For the first time, human justice surpasses divine vengeance. The cycle seems to end. But to this day, the House of Atreus remains the ultimate symbol of moral decay and the inevitability of fate. The story of the House of Atreus is more than mythology. It is a mirror of human passions taken to the extreme: greed, pride, love, betrayal, and the thirst for power. What can we learn from such a corrupted bloodline? That perhaps the true hero is not the one who kills, but the one who breaks the cycle. If you enjoyed this story, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment what other myth or Greek dynasty would you like to see here. The curse may have ended, but our stories are just beginning.